So how are you all doing? Good. So we've had a couple of speakers. They've been absolutely great. So today I'm going to be talking about how to attract clients, but in a slightly different way, and probably not in a way that you've heard before, because I want to talk about how to strategically network with the right people. Now, we always talk about network, go to all these events, but it's not as easy as that, and I don't know about you, but I don't know how many of you have actually really gained some businesses through this, or you've made a profit through it. So I'm going to just show you some strategies of what I've done, and my thing is, if I can do it, you can do it. And this is about how I've been networking up. So I'm going to give you a couple of exercises to do as well. So this is who I am. I run the People's Partner, which is a HR and coaching consultancy. So I work with small, medium businesses, and it's usually businesses with £1 million turnover, because they're at that level where they have at least 10 upward staff. I've got clients who have around about 250 staff, and I do all their HR. When I say it's me and my team. We do everything from recruitment, redundancy, coaching, development, GDPR, what else? Coaching. We do everything to do with HR, and especially when you're growing a business, you need to get a team. So I make sure that they have the right policies, the right procedures, contracts, NDAs, all of that. So that's what we do. And these are some of the people I work with, if we can turn it over. There you go. So there's some familiar names, some names that you may not recognise. So Women SME, that's a company in Dubai. We've got a company in India, and we've got companies in the US, and all the rest are UK based. So, thank you very much. So I want to talk about why it's important to elevate your circle of influence. Now, I've just put down 4 reasons why you need to do that, because when you mix with your peers, you're going to have shared knowledge, which is fine. But then there's a level of wisdom that you won't get from your peers, that you'll only get from people who are playing a game at a higher level than yourselves. And this is what I want more business owners to do, is to upgrade their network. So they're not just getting shared knowledge, like we're all in the same room, we're all at the same level, and we talk about our issues, we talk about our challenges, but when you upgrade, you get wisdom. And that's what we need for our businesses. You get increased opportunities, and I'm going to show you that today, how you can increase your opportunities by networking with the right people. And of course, increase income and influence. When people see you around certain people, they think you're like them. Now, Jim Rohn said that we're the average of the 5 people we connect ourselves with. So, and he also says that if you hang around with people who are roughly on the same salary, you are roughly on that same salary. So if you're honest with yourself and you look at the types of people that you hang around with, you're kind of all in the same salary bracket. You're all in the same income bracket. So that's where we're going to increase and upgrade our network, so we can also upgrade our finances. And of course, it cuts your learning curve in half. You learn from people who have done it before. People who have walked the walk, talked the talk, not just through a book. Now, I said this on a Facebook post once before, that there's 2 types of people. Those who read a book, go to webinars, go to seminars, and are very good at regurgitating what they've learned. And then there's a different type of person who has actually experienced it, and that's what I want to talk about today. Thank you. So the first strategy is build it before you need it. So I'm going to give you a quick story about somebody that I built connections with, and now it's paying off dividends. So I wanted to get a mentor, and I was thinking, who do I get? Now, typically, people would think, let me get a mentor who looks like me, who talks like me, who has probably faced the same challenges that I would face. But I wanted someone different, because my thing is, it's the people that make the difference that will stand out. So I have been emailing this guy for a number of, I think it's just under a year, and I've been, just following what he's doing. And then I took the courage and reached out and said, I would really love you to mentor me. So this is my mentor. Mr. Jack Zufeld. Now, think of Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, Dale Carnegie, those types of people. This is the level he's on. He has done some work with the US Senate. He does coaching, does development, he's an author. He runs a number of training, and I asked him to mentor me in business and in my speaking business. Now, because of that connection, remember we're talking about upgrading our connections. Because of this connection, and he's seen the growth, and I was speaking to someone today, and it's about getting someone who champions you but can make a difference. He's making a difference. So we're actually working on 3 paid speaking engagements in the US next year. And that's literally, they haven't seen my show reel because I haven't even got a show reel yet. It's not because they've been looking at my YouTube, because my YouTube is in a bit of a state. But he has recommended me. So when you get around the right people, they will qualify the unqualified. So that's about build it before you need it. So what I want to remind you, ladies and gents, is that if there's people that you've seen and that you want to connect with, you can't do it now and wish and think that you're going to build a relationship now. It takes time. This relationship took time. And now when I have conferences or when I'm on workshops, he live streams and his knowledge is unfathomable. So that's one of the things, to build it before you need it. The second insight is lead with generosity. Now, I listened to a speaker called KeithFerrazzi, another American speaker and author and entrepreneur, and he talks about leading with generosity because it's the law of reciprocity. When you give, people feel compelled to give in return. And sometimes it's not about giving and hoping you get something in return. Sometimes you just have to lead with your heart. So I usually get paid for speaking, but I've done this today because I want to give, because I believe that sometimes it's not always about money. It's about just being generous and being supportive and helping other people. So this is what I did with this lady. Some of you may know her. Her name is Marilla Sula. All right. So I was introduced to Marilla by somebody else. She's here. She's just outside, V. Roberts. She invited me to the event. And at the event, everybody was going up and pitching their services. And I just thought, that's the same old, same old. What can I do differently? Now, I don't know if many of you know, I'm also a singer. I do backing singing for a few celebs, been on TV, won a couple of awards and all this. So I thought, let me sing for her and her audience and bless her that way. And that's what I did. And because I did that, she was like so bowled over, so overwhelmed. She said to me, Michelle, we would tell me more about you. So I told her about my story. I told her what I do. And she agreed to have me on the front of her cover. Now, I don't know how many of you know how much it costs to go on her cover, right? So you know it's not small money. But I got this opportunity because I led with generosity first. And because of that, I then negotiated to speak on some of her stages in different countries. So she took me to Dubai. It wasn't paid. I paid my own way in Dubai. But when I spoke on the stage in Dubai, there was someone in the audience. She was so overwhelmed by what I was talking about, she then invited me back to speak in Dubai again, and it was then paid. So do you see the ricochet effect? That when you lead with generosity, when you build it before you'll need it, so many doors open. All right? Brilliant. So are we all getting this?
Yes.
Yeah? Good. Is it good stuff?
Yes.
All right, brilliant. So the third strategy is get to know the gatekeepers. Too many times we want to run to the main person, but they've got a line of people supporting. So, and I always say, you have to respect everyone. Not just the main celebs, but their PAs, their VAs, their friends and family. Get to know the gatekeepers. So, I want to give you an example of when I got to know a gatekeeper and then what happened. So this gentleman here, Abdullah, he is the gatekeeper for this guy. So Abdullah does Forex trading. So I've got into trading and making some money, thank you Jesus. But how I got onto it, Abdullah has been watching my posts on Instagram and on Facebook, and he's been sharing my content in his groups. So when we met up at a Forex event, he said, Michelle, I want to introduce you to somebody, and I've been sharing your stuff with him. and his name is David Imaniche. He's based in America, multimillionaire, and I want you to speak to him. So he set up a telephone call. I was speaking to him, and when he rang me, I can see he lives in a mansion. I could just see in the background, and there I am in my kitchen, thinking, "Oh my God, what should I ask him?" You know, I was quite nervous, but once again, I got an opportunity, and I wasn't about to lose it. Then he came over to the UK, and he said he wants to have a private mastermind with only people who are making 10K a month residual income via Forex. Now, I wasn't making that, so I'm very new to all of this. I wasn't making any of that money at all. But he had asked especially for me to come as well. So I'm there in his private room in Piccadilly Circus, and I was just bowled over by favour. And that's all I can call it, it's only favour. Sometimes there's no strategy. Sometimes there's no strategy. Sometimes there's no plan. It's just the favour. And this is what it is. So I'm showing you these people, because these are not people who I've just taken a picture with. These are people that I now can call. These are people now that if I said, I need some support, I need some help, I even need some money, I can reach out to these people because I have built relationships with them. And he was one of the guys. So the last point I want to show you is the fortune is in the follow-up. Who actually believes that the fortune is in the follow-up? Please, I'm going to tell you why. So I went to another event. And if you can change the slide, I went to one of the events, and this is the work I had to do to get what I got. Business cards, a few phone calls, we met up for lunch, we met up in between meetings, but I followed up, because many people take people's business cards and don't do anything with them. I've been in some people's offices and their business cards are piled up and they don't know who these people are. But I was determined that I'm going to strategically network with only one or two people and not everybody in the room, because you won't remember who everybody is. But I wanted to strategically network with one or two people, and that's one person. After all of that, it led to this. A contract of £5,000 a month. And that was at the beginning of the year. And then a couple of months, it was £8,000. And this is not through my main source of income. This is because I built up a relationship with this person. I actually followed through. I had communication with them, shared some content with them, and then because of that contract, I got £8,000 a month, because the fortune is in the follow-up. The fortune is in the follow-up. So who's going to be following up with me or other people in the room today? You've got to do it. You've got to do it. So all I want to say is increase your asks. Don't be afraid to increase your asks. This hashtag is owned by a lady called Carol. And I've been watching her, and it's so true. We women have to not be afraid to ask for help, because there's some people who are willing to help. So let me show you some 3 strategies that I want you to do. Be intentional. If you press again, please. Be intentional. Now, some of you may have heard me say this again, because I do go on about this. Desire is not enough. Passion actually isn't enough. Motivation isn't enough. You need discipline. Yeah. And I think I've come across so many people who are so passionate. I want to start my own business. I want to do this. They leave, a forum such as this. They're going to start building their website. They're going to start doing all this. But because they haven't put in discipline, it gets left behind. And learn to dominate and not compete. Now, I don't want you to misunderstand when I say dominate, not compete. I'm a HR consultant. And there are not many HR consultants in my industry that are vocal and that are visible on social media. And this is why I stand out, because I have so many HR consultant friends and they don't do any of what I do. And that's why I can get business in, because I'm being vocal and visible. So in my field, I dominate. I don't know what fields you are in, but learn to dominate. So stand out and be remembered. And the other slide is be committed. You can press it again. Be committed. So once you get the discipline, stick to it 100%. I will tell you, I was out of I say out of work, I'm self-employed, but I had, well, I was still working on my back. I had a slip disc last week, or no, the week before, and I've been laying on my back for a week. I've been crawling on my hands and knees on my back for a whole week. But I have in my list of things to do, I do videos on social media every week. So I got myself downstairs, I put a couple of cushions behind my back, I put a hot water bottle behind my back, and I did my videos. And I was very honest about it, and I told everybody that, you know, I'm in a bit of pain, but I'm determined to do it because I signed up to be committed and I signed up to be disciplined. So the third strategy is evolve. Be prepared to evolve because you don't know what life will take. So you keep your visions the same, but the way you get there might be different. So things might come in your way, like illness might come in your way, but it doesn't mean you're going to forget it and I'm going to give it up. You have to be flexible, and some of us are not so flexible. But I want you to be flexible. If you could change the next slide, please. So, going back to connections, who is on your make and break list? Who are your maintenance friends and your growth friends? This is really important because I hear a lot of coaches or consultants say, if that person is not going to help you get to the next level, get rid of them. But I don't actually believe that myself. So I don't know about you, I don't. I believe that I have friends that were just made to be maintenance friends. They're people that I grew up with. They're my friends and my family, and I don't expect them to get my vision. Why would you? The vision wasn't given to them, it was given to you. So why do we just say, oh, I have no time for that person because they're not going to take me to the next level? Just understand that you're maintenance friends. But then you have a set of growth friends. And growth friends are people who are going to take you to the next level because they're going to introduce you to the right people. They're going to introduce you to the right opportunities. And you just need to know who are your growth friends. And then you need to think about people who influence you in a negative way. Now, listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying people who are negative, because there are people who are positive that still influence you in a negative way. The reason why I say this, how many times have you scrolled through Instagram and you've seen all these great stuff that everybody's doing, but it makes you end up depressed? Not because they are negative, but sometimes it has an impact on you because you look at all the great things that other people are doing, you know, all this new house, new car, and all this money, all these clients, and it makes you feel worthless. So be honest with yourself and think, who influences me in a negative way? And then, what positive people do I need to spend more time with? Who do you need to reach out before this year is ended so you can build relationships with them next year? So I was speaking to someone today and I said, I have a list of 4 people that I have been building relationships because I'm determined to work with them next year. They don't know it yet, but because I'm sowing the seeds and I'm reeling them in, because next year I'm going to make my proposal and they're going to say yes because of the law of reciprocity. So, just a reminder, who are the 5 people you need to surround yourself with? Who are the 5 significant? Remember, we're the average of the 5. So who are the 5 people? It could be any of the speakers, it could be Karen, it could be Kotokumbo, it could be anybody. But think about what can you give as well as what you want to get. So I'm just going to end here, but I just want to give you one extra story, and then we're going to change slides, but don't do it this year. So there's one person that I reached out to, and I reached out to him at an event, and I saw him, and all I did was compliment him on what he was wearing. And he said, oh, thank you, Michelle, that's so lovely, and we started talking. And we started talking and we booked a call. So you know when some people say, oh, book a call with me, and then you don't follow through? Well, I'm one of those that do follow through, and I booked a call with him. We had a conversation, and he said, your story, Michelle, is so powerful. And he said, Michelle, you need to do a TEDx. You really need to do a TEDx talk. And I said, oh, I don't know if I want the whole world to know this. But at the same time, I knew that I had a mandate on my life to help set other people free. So I just thought, okay, so I have put this down on my wish list for about a year and a half, I think it was. And I reached out to TEDx and they said, sorry, we can't have that story on our platform because we're not ready. We don't think other people will be ready. Can you press the next one? And then, okay, go back, because I don't want to offer you that yet. So he said to me, Michelle, so I went back to the guy and I said, they don't want me. They're not ready for me. And he said, listen, I'll speak to them. I'll speak to them for you. And he did. And would you believe I got a phone call, about 2 weeks ago, and an email saying, Michelle, we want you to do a TEDx talk in January. And he goes, thank your friend for that. I did not apply. I did not apply for it, and I know many people that have applied for it, but I haven't done it. So I just want to reinforce the power of strategic networks. People that can take you to higher levels. They are out there. I am a living witness that they are out there. Yeah? So what I want you to do is offer just 10 people to sit with me and let's work out your relationship planner. So we have a planner for everything, right? But do you have one for people who are in your lives? So this is what I want to offer. I want to offer you to sit down with me and to work out what skills you need to master. Because remember, we want to dominate. So what skills do you need to master and who can you learn them from? So I have a big vision that don't want to tell anybody yet, but I'm reaching out to somebody and I'm going to make it happen. And when I know I'm getting closer, I'll share it. But I know what skills I need to master, but I need her help. And I'm going to reach out to her. Assess what's the best way to strategically connect, because you can't just drop them an email. When I'm talking about the people that you really need, you can't just drop them an email and walk off. There's a strategy, there's a plan behind it. So let's work out together how to do that. And then I will give you all the scripts that I've used of different people. We can adapt it to make it work, and then we can follow up. So I will offer this, if you can just change the slide for me, just for £29. And that's for 10 people. And I've got a little card that I want you just to fill out the back and give back to me, yeah? And in that, let's write down what we need to do. Brilliant. Write down what we need to do. Telephone, give me your telephone number. I am going to personally phone you, not my PA. I'm going to phone you, and we are going to sit down and plan this out. And I want you to be honest with me as well. Think big. Who out there do you want to speak to, that you want to work with, that you want to speak on their stages with? Let's make it happen. So, and that's the slide that I was referring to. So, yeah, I'm Royal Tunbridge Wells in January the 26th. I'll be doing my first TEDx. And this has been on my list of things to do for a year and a half. And I tried, and they were not having it, and somebody came through for me. So these are my contact details if you want to contact me. So you can take a picture of that, but I'll also give you my card and just put your details at the back. And I just want to leave you with this quote. I really love this quote. If I can have the slide changed. Thank you. Your social capital, let me wait so you can take a picture. Your social capital, or your ability to build authentic relationships, both personal and professional, and not your financial capital, will be the most important asset in your portfolio. It's about who you know and who knows you. Thank you for having me.